Wait, you guys haven't heard? It's the Very Real Fantasy Football Show!
We got the band back together.
Oh, hell yeah! Woo! Well, it's the big show.
Oh, all right.
Yeah. It's the big bad show tonight. Dude, now I want to hear the thump.
Do you want to? Let me see
Well,
what
it's
I
the
can do.
big show. We'll probably get canceled, sued. What do they do when you play shit you don't have the rights for? That's what we're going to
Yeah,
get.
they come out. It's Leonard Litigious, I believe.
I thought you were going to say Leonard Skinner, man.
Oh, Skinner, bro.
Fucking right, man. Front row.
Funny you say that. Wait till I hit this button. Just kidding.
Freebird?
Nope, don't have it.
Okay.
Don't have it on here.
No Stairway to Heaven on the podcast. That's one thing.
Fellas, look at us.
Hey, we're doing
It's
this
the
again.
band.
Back together.
A little holiday break.
Couple weeks ago, couldn't get it in. I did just a quick little solo show that sucked pretty bad, but I got something out. And then
Hey, just couldn't get it in. That's what happens when you're solo. It's tough to muster it up.
Yeah,
Getting
you're
old.
right.
Thoughts are, not what they
you
once
just
were.
think about getting it in.
Damn. Let me
See what you can get done. And then, last week, Thanksgiving week, a lot going on, just nothing. So hopefully you guys did well over Thanksgiving.
Yeah.
We didn't give you any advice, so whatever. But here we are. We're back just in time for week 14, which in all reputable leagues is it.
I mean, we're here the last week of the season. It's pretty much done. Some people are like, "Yeah, dude, I'm done." Some people like if they're not in a dynasty, they've already checked out. If they're not playoff bound, they're done.
As officially known as Dynasty Dan, I will say this is the
Double
exact
D.
week I've been waiting for as a 1-12 rebuild. Is like, let's get this fucker over with.
Yeah.
Come on
I'm
now.
tired of setting my lineup.
Oh, I'm tired of just fighting the good fight. No,
Just looking forward to next year's draft.
It's
I know.
It's one of those wars that no one talks about because the other force was so overwhelmed. They're like, it was a quick battle. And that's my season this year. I've just been getting dealt every week. My projection, I'm the only team under 100. Everyone's got a nice 133 to like a 150 prediction. Mine's like 89. I'm like, oh, fuck.
That's awesome.
It sucks. It's a man building experience.
There's a certain kind of like peace that comes with that. Like, I know what I'm doing here. I'm rebuilding. I'm not going to win.
I finally know what it feels like to be the guy that I fuck with in the chat room for sucking dick at fantasy football. That's me.
It's you.
I'm the bye week. You play
You're
me,
that
you're like,
guy.
Victory.
It feels weird to be the easy lay. You know what I mean? Like, there goes Dan. You
But
can
it's not-
poke off one beer.
But when you, but when it's dynasty, it's different, man. It's crazy. It's the long play. I mean,
It is.
You're looking years in advance.
Yeah. And
of
hoping
building
that,
something
that I take 2 years off to maybe win 2. It's like,
right.
maybe be competitive for 5. Maybe I do it and I am competitive and I win 0, but it's something I had to address. And I did it professionally. And boy, did I blow it up a little too far. Oh.
Well, I mean,
Down to the studs would have been good. I dynamited my ass.
You went on, but it happens. I'm just say if you look at your team in a dynasty and you know that you're middle of the pack, and you're like, I don't see a future of me where I'm built at to being able to climb up to the top. You may as well rebuild because just sitting in the middle is the worst. Of like, oh, cool, I may make the playoffs. Everything has to go perfect. My guys, have to have their best games ever. No, blow it up, get the draft picks. As we've seen multiple times, young players can come in there and all of a sudden, a year or two in,
please,
your team's up there at the top. And
give me those guys.
I have draft picks. I have studs now. They're young. I can
I drafted them.
Sustainable.
God, let that be so.
There are a few different strategies when you're playing Dynasty. And one of them is, it's like the Madden technique of, I'm going to trade away all of my valuable assets to try to build a super team of starters and win right now.
Right now, like a 2-3 year window of just let me get that
and
money.
Mortgage my entire future.
Yeah, because who cares? If you get one out of there, is worth it. You're
Worth
just
it.
trying to get that title.
Right. And then there's the teams that it's like a grind. It's you don't rebuild, you reload. You just kind of keep
organically keep filtering in guys.
You're in the mix every year. You're right there in the top, 4 or 5 teams who always within striking distance, and you just try to maintain that status quo and hope that a few of those years it pays off. And that's
it.
That's really how you do it.
Yeah.
And then there's the one I did, which is you pull the chute. You're like, all right, all the passengers aren't on the plane.
Yeah.
I'm the pilot. Here we go. This plane is fucking going down, and I'm not going down with it. Hell no. So I pulled chute. Now I'm just stuck trying to build a new plane with some cats I found. And
a rebuild is fun, though, man.
It's
fun. The year that you're losing sucks.
Only thing I could think of all year that was worse than my situation was being just like housed in jail.
Oh yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yep.
Other than that, it was terrible. It's not as cute as it sounds when you're living it. Like hopeless. At least I won one game. I beat Pedigo.
And you have picks in the future. It's when you have bad players and no picks, there's no future.
At least I have, yes. I have a lot of first-round picks to lean on, but yeah, you dynasty heads out there, you get what I'm saying. Week 14, we're like, let's end this shit and get to the draft.
Yep.
Please.
Yeah, let's just move on from this.
I'm ready for Mel Kiper. I'm telling you, Todd, listen, Todd.
Let's all this doom and gloom. Let's talk about some happy stuff.
Okay.
The leagues that we're doing well in.
Yeah, I have those.
Move forward. All right, I think you were telling me a story in one of your leagues. You're first in points.
First in points.
And so you're obviously dominating. Just
on offense.
Almost undefeated.
Yep, my fantasy defense, though, has just not picked up the scheme that I'm laying down.
So what's happening? What's wrong, buddy?
People are just feeling free to go no rubbing me, dude. Just putting it in.
So you're not doing great.
No, I'm doing terrible. And I'm 6-7 as the highest scoring team in our league. I am a 1 game ahead of EC over here. He's fucking mailed it in. He's got a nice young team. He's in dynasty mode of stacking.
Sure.
Stacking.
I got stacked young players and lots of picks.
Tons.
A team that I took over, so I'm...
Yeah, he's a year away from being super dominant. I'm in the mix of I should be the motherfucking champ, and I might not make the playoffs.
It's like you have to win to get in.
I have to win this week against a formidable opponent with clutch bye weeks. Like I've got Terry McLaurin, Joe Mixon, those kind of guys sitting the fuck out.
Well, we'll get to that. We'll get to the bye, because once we get into this week, we got to talk about the bye weeks. But the overall situation in fantasy that you find yourself in we've all found ourselves in similar situations.
It's the worst situation you could ever have in fantasy football if you are personally living it.
Yeah.
I know it might not be bad for those of you who aren't living it, but trust me, it's traumatizing.
When you get everybody's best every single week, and you're like, I put up numbers, they just put up a little bit better.
Yeah.
And then the next week, they drop 40 points off of their total, and that's about, they had their best games of the week
they get
against
up.
me.
Their fantasy guys get up to play me, and I'm going to tell you this. It's been worse than my season over in the league where I'm 1-12, where I know from day one, I'm like, I'm not going to. I already said in the chat week 1, I'm like,
yes,
here comes 0-14, motherfuckers, and I just happened to catch Pedigo napping 1 week.
You got me.
I got him. I don't know how. He had his shittiest week ever, which was like 119, and I had my best week ever. It's like 122.
Well, I'm really bad in that league too, though.
Yeah, I caught you slipping.
I'm second lowest in points.
I had to have my best week of 100 plus, like 122. That's horse shit.
But there's nothing more you can do, because I'm in a league like this too, where I think I'm second in points, and I'm in 6 out of 10, and I have to win this week.
Sucks
to get in, and
because
it's like
we're in it.
But it's the points against are ridiculous. Like teams, I'm getting everybody's best shot every week, and it sucks because then part of fantasy is making fun of the homies, like, oh, you're doing real good this year, bud. How's that? You got to win to get in, huh? Mm-hmm. Does your wife play? That kind of stuff. And it's like, dude, I can't do anything else. I'm scoring all the points.
All the points. It's not
all the points. Just I hate it. Sometimes I hate it.
I'm a middle of the road team in my 12-team league. I'm 6th. I got to win to get in, and I just I have no picks. I'm there. I'm existing, trying to just win the fucking title with the real shitter.
Eric, how are you doing this year? You set up to win anything?
Two of them. I have a good. I have a chance.
He and I are battling.
Dan's on fire in one of the leagues.
Our radio league. We call it.
I was in first. And then Dan took it over. He beat me all year. I still have a high point.
Yeah, rest your head on that, bitch.
And we'll both have a bye, so if we meet each other again, it would be in the Super Bowl.
And it's for our lives.
Yes.
We're playing for our souls on that one. Eric and I have had classic matchups in Super Bowls. We're not fans of it. It's too intense.
Oh, man.
It's not one of those things where you get together.
No.
No.
Friendly.
You don't want to see your buddy win a title.
No, not at your expense.
No, I don't want you to get that.
And let's just put it this way.
extra.
Dan has won every title that he has played against me in. So I'm due, all right? I'm second place.
Are you, though, dude?
Constantly. Yeah.
Hey,
I
Cal.
fucking am due.
Cal. Hey, Cal.
I fucking am due for another title.
Whoa.
I have been so good and so close, and I just second
That last
place.
one we played in, he's like, Cal not. And he's like, maybe Ricky, I could win
Maybe.
one. I'm like, no, dog. No.
They're like, no, dude, how about somebody's going to die on the field and just you just don't get your points?
Oh, we're going.
And I'm
wait,
like,
I forgot about
damn.
that one. So
I haven't.
Was that
I
Super
haven't.
Bowl? Oh, it was for the title. Okay.
Literally somebody.
Hey.
Yeah. Which
Championship
Moment of silence.
title. Didn't
he's
die.
all right.
Fine.
He plays football
Came
again.
back
He's
stronger
good.
than ever.
He's doing pretty good.
Killed a
He's
man himself.
Having a pretty
Killed Tua. So
And
yeah, he did.
yeah. So
Wow.
all comes back to EC trying to pray that.
Life is a circle.
Tua's on your hands. Tua's blood.
somehow Tua's on my.
That's you.
Tua's blood is on your hands for all your witchcraft saying, oh, Dan won a title. I put a hex on random something.
And it was on Tua.
on
That was
Tua.
not who I would have picked.
Yeah.
So here's something crazy. I'm in 6 leagues.
Jesus.
I know,
I'm calling
right?
the hotline.
If the season ends right now, I'm in 4 out of 6 playoffs.
It's good stuff.
But
It does not.
But it
it
doesn't
does
end.
not. Depending on what happens this week,
I liked where you're heading, though,
I could
guy.
be in only 2 out of 6.
That's not, but it's still, you're still alive.
Yeah.
You just
right.
need to win one league to pay
I know,
for them
but
all.
I'm just saying what a difference that is,
Uh-huh.
right?
Yes.
Oh,
yes.
Where hey, it's a successful year. 4 out of 6 playoffs to only made it in 2 out of 6.
yeah, it's.
Yeah, right.
I'm there
It's
too,
just-
man. I'm
fantasy's
going
so
3
stupid.
out of 4. I'm going to make the playoffs if I win. And if I don't, I'm 1 out of 4. And then all of a sudden, I'm looking like a rag.
Well, and you'll sit there and, as we know, it doesn't matter how good your team always is.
It's not Madden.
It's not names always. Those are consistent, but does not always happen. Eric and I made a trade.
Did we?
Yeah, and that's where you end up getting Ricky Pearsall.
Yeah.
Traded in there. And then, of course,
Ricky.
it goes out there, puts up 17.6 points or something, ends up beating me. Or
I did beat you.
what did he do after that? He hasn't done anything.
hasn't done
Literally
anything.
0 points. He goes out there the 1 week where I could have played him, but I traded him. Of course, one of the guys who I got, Olave, out there, literally almost died on the
Yeah.
field.
the second you
and
bought
I'm
that
like,
car.
Fantasy death
I mean-
surrounds you.
I mean, he
dude.
sold me a lemon, Eric. You sold me a lemon.
There's a lot of blood
And
on
I
your
don't-
hands,
I don't-
dude.
Yeah. See,
Here you
A
go,
lot of
though.
blood on your
look,
hands.
look at this.
But
Look
here's what I
I'm-
didn't do was
Fantasy
try to
witch
tell you I
doctor.
was giving you something I wasn't. Chris Olave,
He did tell you,
full
like,
transparency.
he's like, check the Carfax.
I was ready. I was ready to get off that ride, dude.
Yes,
I've been,
no. Well, that's he had gotten hit. I knew he'd gotten concussed, but they went out there. He had 14 targets, 8 catches, 107.
sure.
I'm like, all right, nice.
I heard
Nice.
it too. He's like, frame, bent,
Yeah.
alignment, off,
Yeah.
tranny,
Those days are
don't
great.
know his pronouns.
Nuh-uh. I was just tired of him clogging up my IR spots.
Oh,
so,
man.
Or just the bench of being like, he's not on IR, but he's hurt.
time to move on. So he's yours now. Congratulations. I'll take Ricky Pearsall.
He's closer
yeah.
to
and
being
the
a.
picks and some picks.
Oh, I know.
Is he
Right.
closer to
Oh,
being
yeah.
an NFL player or a Make a Wish Foundation kid at this point?
Hey, we'll see.
wheeling him
Mister,
out.
I bought Tua in another league.
I did, and he's doing good.
Yeah, see?
Still alive, upright.
I've got
I'm starting him this
Olave's
week.
24. He'll come back. He'll
You-
play.
We're going to talk about two. I've made some interesting notes here on these games, guys. Let's get into the
Let's
week
Whack it up.
a little bit. Baltimore, Denver, Houston, Indy.
Sunshine State. Gorgeous.
Gorgeous. New England, Washington, 6 teams on a bye. And this, the last week of the fantasy regular season.
Oh, the NFL loves a good joke.
The NFL schedule makers do not care about fantasy football. And
No.
they should, because
fuckers.
we are the fantasy football is what makes NFL so huge.
Absolutely. I've been saying it for years.
Yeah.
It's why the NFL became the biggest sport.
It's not even close to why I care about NFL
fantasy.
the most. It's because of fantasy, goddamn
Fantasy.
it.
It's fantasy.
I mean, I love you guys know me. I'm an NBA, NHL, MLB. I'll watch it. UFC. I'm damn.
yeah, sports,
Football gets a little more love because I'm like, I got my own team.
fantasy.
It makes it personable to you besides
Yes.
just your I used to watch the Bears. That was basically it. I didn't care like the random these teams are on. Like maybe if I got time, I'll watch it, but I don't really give a shit. I care about I want to watch the Bears, and that's it. Now I'm like, red zone, what's going on? I know the offensive lineman for this team is hurt. I didn't give a shit about any of that before fantasy football.
I mean, do you think I care the Bengals are 4-8? I'm more concerned with my 6 and 17 needs to get in the goddamn playoffs. It's my team.
Watch this. Here's something I'm gonna.
Let's see it.
Who's Parker Washington, guys?
Parker Washington is a wide receiver for the Jacksonville Jaguars. He was a 6th-round pick last year.
23 years old, 5'10", 183. What?
I'm
we
just
know who
saying-
the fuck he is.
I know you do. that was the point I was making.
Yeah,
and the only reason you know who Parker Washington is because of fantasy football.
Yeah.
That's
Yeah.
it.
That's it.
It's you know. Why do
Yeah,
you know
he's
that?
been on my team several times.
Why can you name the backup running back for every single NFL team?
Fantasy
football.
Yes.
So and it's not just us, man.
And I
It's-
tell myself I get paid to know that shit. I don't,
You
but
don't.
I get
Right.
I get paid.
You
if
pay
I know
to know that shit.
Yeah.
You pay money every year
To know it.
to know it.
It's a membership fee I pay
Right.
every year, a couple $100 just to learn the shit.
And so the least they can do is not throw 6 buys at us week 14.
Or pick some teams that suck balls, dude. Throw Carolina, would be fine.
How many buys were there last week?
Enough.
I don't think there was any last week.
0.
That's why, because it was a holiday time. They had Thursday, Friday,
They had
and
slots
Sunday
to-
games.
Yeah, the
Yeah.
schedule makers are like,
It's all about the money, obviously. As we know,
fantasy.
it's a business. But they start them in week 5.
Yeah.
Week 5 to week 14, you have buys. On the other side,
Start them week 4.
it's kind of shitty towards the players to do that, or just have a few weeks where there's more teams on buys and just get them out of the way
Nothing
in
like-
there for a little bit more of a competitive balance.
clocking into work at 8 a.m. and taking your break at 9. Like, what the fuck? Week 5, week 4 bye weeks? Like, just getting warmed up.
Or what if you have 1 week where they're just all on a fucking bye and you just don't have football for 1 week?
That's stupid.
What would we do? No.
We'd do something.
No.
We'd be
You,
okay.
you tried.
We'd be okay.
You're doing good.
Yeah, I was with you right up until that no football for a week.
1
thing.
week. But then
It's
every
called the
team
Pro
plays
Bowl.
every other week. That's it. You don't have to play the bye
We
game.
already do. It's the Pro Bowl, bro.
So the whole league gets one bye. It's all 1 week. The whole league just takes 1 week off.
Yeah.
What, Thanksgiving?
And then the rest of the time we have full fantasy lineups.
Yeah.
That's tight. But
I'm kind of with that actually.
it's scary, though. You got one whole week where you got to.
do that. Listen.
Find something to do with your Sunday.
There's going to be a lot
Yes.
of honey-do lists. They're like, all right,
That's
well,
when you do
week
your
14, your bitch ass better be in the yard.
It'll be like week 8, week 9. It'd be like, there you go. This is it.
What if
Once I start, I can't stop. It stings. That's why I don't.
What
want
if the spouses didn't have to know? What if we were all in on it and like the NFL Network
it. Too many guys fold.
or like the Red Zone just puts on just highlight packages of like, 90s games and
Just
stuff.
run film.
Yeah, and they
Just rerun.
your wife
Re-rack
come
classic.
downstairs and be like,
No.
"Hey, how's it?"
I'm
you can win
out.
in and be like, "Oh yeah, no, here's my
I'm out.
Ricky Waters is my running back. He's doing great."
I can't just like do a bunch of drinking and then like go eat some food and then get back to drinking.
Or they have that be like the trade
You're not
deadline.
a drink.
The trade deadline. Like there you go. You
Okay.
have it all. You don't have games. This is whenever the GMs all try to figure it out where they're at and make the trade deadline, and then bam, we're back and it's all teams. All
Sounds
the
like
time.
you're still workshopping. it.
Yeah, I like where your head's
I just
at.
keep building it on. I mean, it's just ideas, you guys. You throw out ideas.
There's
you see
no
it
bad
subsist.
ideas.
That's how it works. It's ideas.
Maybe you should write that down somewhere, crumble it up, burn it, and never speak of it again. That's
Whatever. Not writing it down, and I definitely not speak about it again.
The reality,
Motherfucker said I'm not writing it down.
I'm writing shit down.
the reality
Write
is
down. Eric writes everything down.
I do. I've got a list. The 6 teams I just mentioned are on a bye. That's a lot of good players, man. A lot of relevant fantasy guys not playing this week in a must-win week. For
Yeah,
so
we
many
get it.
teams.
Must
So,
fucking
yep.
win. Okay.
So let's get into it.
God,
The Jets.
I'm gonna lose. I fucking hate it.
The Jets take on. Where am I at? Hold on.
And I have one of those weird.
The Jets take on Miami. I can't read my own writing. Sorry, you go. You got a weird shape.
No, I was saying it doesn't matter in any league. I'm already said whether I'm making it to the playoffs or I'm not making it. So it's kind of a
it's not a must win for
like
you.
I'm just waiting for the
spot
playoffs.
you're in because I want to be there.
Oh yeah.
I want to know right now if I'm in or if I'm out, so I can get on with my life. Right now, I am like.
That was this past week kind of for me in one of the leagues.
Yeah,
and I won it. I'm like, thank you.
You got armpit hair before all of us kind of metaphor, you know?
I did.
Dude, in the Chris League, it was such an opposite year for me where I was like, quit winning.
Like you tried to blow it up and then you got hot. You're like, it's pointless.
4 in a row after I blew my team up,
it's
dude.
pointless.
4 straight. I'm like, I'm going to make the playoffs. This is all working out.
But you
horribly.
traded away your picks, so it kind of worked well, actually. Like,
yeah, it did.
You kind of want to
either way
go there, but you're like, this wasn't a plan. I wasn't expecting this.
No. All right, Jets at Miami. Tua, in his last 3 games, 9 touchdowns, 0 interceptions, nearly 1,000 passing yards, 970 passing yards. All in his last 3 games. He has been phenomenal.
Best quarterback at anticipating where he needs to put the ball, and he's accurate. It's just uncanny.
So then this week.
He's underrated.
Yeah. A healthy Tua is an every week fantasy starter statistically. And Fantasy Pros has him at 10 this week, right behind Jared Goff, right behind Patrick Mahomes, behind Jordan Love, Sam Darnold. I'm trying to think. Who would I start him over? I mean, I like him this week.
I start Tua and Love in the Super Flex League I'm in.
Okay, yeah, Superflex. That's of course, yeah,
Boner City.
Mm-hmm.
I like Tua over Goff.
I was gonna say
definitely over Goff. Is hit or miss. He
He's
can have huge games, but it's a running team.
He's a better real life, like 80% completion percentage for like 220 yards. Cool, he's winning games, but like you're saying, he ain't winning fantasy games as much.
And their defense is good, so he's not having to. They're a winning team.
Yeah,
they don't play hero ball.
He doesn't have to try to come back and start throwing and be like. Jameis, and
I'll try to get this uploaded tonight before kickoff so people know to start 2-0 over Jared Goff.
All right.
They play tonight. Thursday night game.
Someone's going to hear and be like, good thing
them fucking losers, if I could put this out late.
Fuck you.
I could have won and I would have made it to the playoffs and they would have told me earlier.
I'm trying my best, man. Hell.
And then, I mean, Tyreek Hill's been good since Tua's been back, so he's
good,
fine.
not great, not the league winner.
He is not all year long, has he been?
No,
but since Tua's been back, he's
functional and
startable.
feels
bad about, but who hasn't been is Jalen Waddle. Still one good game all season.
Yeah,
I was playing against him in 2 leagues.
That's what happens.
I think Mike McDaniel might be finding himself on the business end of a firing.
McFired.
Mm-hmm.
He could. You hear that it's not as you hear the rumbles that we see of the reports to where he might not have quite control, and they don't they want a leader of men to follow kind of more, and he's
more of a pal.
Yeah, he's more of a pal of men.
Yes.
You know what? It's kind of he's like the anti Dan Campbell.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah, he is.
And it's Dan Campbell is this weird anomaly where it's like he's playing checkers when everybody else is playing chess.
Mm-hmm. And it's working.
Uh-huh. Yeah, he's just like, chess, huh? Well, I'm going to flip the table over and punch you in the face. And it's like, all right, you win, I guess. Yeah, all right. So, now maybe everybody's going to get back to, meathead former football player.
But they got to be sensitive a little.
And not skinny nerds with glasses and weird hair.
And that is what it's sort of that... The analytics of everything in sports. They said to all these guys that have all this stuff, they're like, what happened to the guys that are like, you go in there, you punch them in the face, you run the ball down them, you run them over. That's football, not, if we can do this toe tap around and do this, that's genius, you're great. Like, no, these football players want guys to tell them that, and I want to run through a brick wall for Dan Campbell. Whenever you hear him get you fired up. That's what you want out of a coach, is to fire you up like that. Not
sometimes these raging testosterone gladiator guys just need like, hey man, let's go out there and kick everyone's ass. And they're like, yeah. Right. Instead of like, okay, so listen, if the X go, and they're like, dude,
I don't know a lot of science that
that's
ends
all
with
right.
tackling.
You'll feel better after this.
Yeah.
Let's just kind of do this. All right, guys.
Now the fifth read on this play, it's like the fifth.
We're going to get to
I'm
the
dead
fifth read.
by then, man.
Go to the third. You dump it off to him. If you're not blocking him, I'm yanking out of the fucking game.
S2
Okay, like, all right, listen to it.
All right. Well, anyhow, 2 has been real good. Jets, still kind of a tough matchup, but I think he's still fine. For the Jets,
I have no choice but to start Garrett Wilson and Devontae Adams in separate leagues. You just got to do it.
Yeah, them and Brees. If he does play, he's missed a couple practices. If not, then you get Braylon Allen out.
Sucks for
is
Wilson.
there any indication that Brees Hall's not going to play, though?
I don't own him, so I'm in the give no fuck section.
Yep. No,
Yes,
I bumped into you over there. Remember?
I was like, good to see you, pal.
Hey, what's up?
You over here?
He was not on the field for Thursday's practice. That's not
Fridays,
that's all I know.
Friday's all you care about.
Yes.
Friday's the truth serum.
All right. Well, Atlanta at Minnesota. Let's take a look at this one because
Sure, I'll peek at it.
whereas Tua, 3 games, awesome. Kirk Cousins, 3 games, putrid.
Really good last week.
Last 3 games,
I have a better arm than that.
Kirk
fuck.
Cousins, 0 passing touchdowns, 6 interceptions.
How many?
And Kyle Pitts
3
is-
games.
Kyle
The past
Pitts has
3
been
games,
the
it's been 0 passing touchdowns.
0 passing touchdowns.
Kyle Pitts has been the
6 interceptions.
beneficiary of that shit, hasn't
Yes, he has.
Fuck.
And he's had like 2 catches for 18 yards in the past 4 games.
Can we safely say that no one knows how to use that fucking guy in Atlanta? Either he was the biggest hype machine I've ever seen since Jamarcus Russell, or they just don't know how to fucking use him.
He'll go out there, he'll catch. Like when they use him,
It's pathetic.
he does good. They
You're
throw it to
pathetic.
him. He's catching. He's going
you're
deep,
pathetic.
and they don't know how. Yeah.
Well, Kirk Cousins is not helping any pass catchers recently. I mean, last
On
week he
defense.
did have he had 4 interceptions last week. It's
good.
One was a pick 6, so he has officially thrown more touchdown passes to the opposing team than he has to his own players in the last 3 games, and that's
Yes.
1.
Will Kirk Cousins be the quarterback next year for the Falcons, or they trade him and move on to Penix?
Oh, Penix
Oh.
is going to get in there sooner than later, so maybe this year.
It might why not?
They might lean to Penix like soon.
Or is it just money, depending on where the money's at? Do they try to write him out 1 more year?
What's his? Was he on a 2-year? What's his
It's a 4
contract?
year.
Why
4 years, 180
4 year?
4 years,
180
$180 million.
Kirk Cousins and
4 years, $180 million, and then they drafted Penix at 8. Who's like 25 already.
I would have
or
gone
something.
out there for $1 million and done better. Just a cold mill and just got my shit rocked.
But Bijan's been real well.
yeah, Bijan's been really good.
He's cutting the mustard finally.
Yeah, ever since we called him out on this show,
I've been feeling really good about how cut that mustard is.
Minnesota.
Oh, Minnesota.
Oh,
Don't you know?
Algonquin.
Ah, for the good land. Didn't you know? That's actually Milwaukee.
Yeah.
We know, folks.
Yeah, I know.
I just don't want anyone to get in the comment
Like you
section
idiots.
and stirring the pot, chasing the muff around.
Is there any like fringe starters? Anybody you think might be worth a look with all these players on bye?
No, I
in
mean,
this game at all?
For me, everyone on Minnesota that you talk about is a must start. Like, I don't see how you leave Jordan Addison out. I mean, we don't even talk about
He's been good, right?
Justin Jefferson. You can't. I mean, that's
Yeah, well, of course.
Do you know what I mean? Aaron Jones is a top freaking running back. You got to start him. Darnold, what's wrong with that? You see where I'm going with this? TJ
Yeah.
Hawkinson in a land of tight ends sucking the D. Get him in there and play TE for you. Hell,
Okay.
I like him. They're a year ahead of schedule. And Sam
Falcons-
Darnold's going to get paid.
Drake London, Bijan, and Darnell Mooney had a down week last week, but besides that, he had been hot.
snapping.
So you got to put him in there. Also, they're going. Is Kirk Cousins going against Minnesota? Is this where he has a
little
good game?
revenge.
Oh, a
Little revenge game. They're not as good against the pass.
He's not going to be this shitty all year. This is definitely a slump he's in, and this could be the game. Like you
Could
said,
be.
revenge, just enough oomph to get him going. Dump one down to Pitts in the flat. Let this dude work.
And take a look at Ray if you need somebody. Double digits 3 out of the last 4 games.
Ray, dude.
Oh, Ray.
So
Ray
nice they
McCloud.
named him twice.
The Niners are like, oh, come back. We need somebody to catch 4 passes for us.
He'd probably be injured.
Yeah, he would be. Everybody is. Don't want to talk about it, but we'll have to eventually because they play this week.
I dare you to say the Bengals out
They
loud.
do play this week.
just wait.
They're going to
Jump
lose
off
again.
a bridge. I'll do it.
They're the Monday night game. We have
For
to talk
fantasy
about 'em.
purposes, you're in good shape.
New Orleans at the New York Giants. Taysom Hill out for the season.
All 39 years old of them. Christ.
Just
chugging along.
that
Thir-
guy.
Defying the odds.
35, I want to say. 35 years old, torn ACL.
If he didn't go serve as a pastor in El Gangway,
Algonquin for the good land.
he may be done. Like,
No.
he's
First
torn
of all-
ACL and other stuff in his knee. After next year,
there's two players I won't let you talk this blasphemy about. One of them, you're doing it right now, Taysom Hill. The other one's Tebow.
He's only 34.
Wow.
Tebow already is
Eyes on
done.
you, motherfucker.
Eyes right here. He sees me. Taysom Hill is a football player. Like, love Taysom
all the
Hill.
positions.
35 years old out there. I just
I
don't know the
know.
torn ACL. I just like
Algonquin service.
He's 34.
34. Sorry.
Wish I was.
Yeah, man.
Right there with
Can you imagine? Do you remember 11 years ago?
Not barely. It's pre-dementia.
It was only 10,
It's only
years
10
ago
for us. Still.
It's weird how 11 years ago is only 10 for you assholes. You fucking losers. Always adding a year onto my shit.
I feel young and spry.
I bet you do.
I
Knees
don't.
sounded good
Oh,
walking
I
up and down the
Dude,
stairs.
They're so bad.
I'm drinking coffee to come over here to be able to do
I
the
mean,
podcast.
you
And I was
guys-
tired, so I didn't take a
You
nap.
guys reek of WD-40 coffee and barbiturates. You guys.
I'm missing dinner right now. It's 4:25.
Yeah, it is. I was going to say, don't you eat around 3:30? Your tuna melt's going to be shitty by the time you get home, old man.
Wheel of Fortune's about to come on. We got to wrap this
Christ,
up.
the wheel's on. Whip it through. Let's go.
Drew Lock is the starting quarterback for the New York Giants.
Well earned.
Uh-huh. Mm-hmm,
I'd
sure.
like to buy a quarterback, Pat.
That's what a mess that is. Malik Neighbors is talking bad about it pretty much every week.
He's retiring.
He
Malik
might.
Neighbors is done now.
All of a sudden, it just popped up questionable this week for Malik Neighbors.
Oh, wouldn't you be questionable? I don't want to risk my bag out there.
Tending to a fake groin injury. I mean, a real groin injury.
You're
like,
not
why are you going to
enthused.
play me this week? It doesn't even matter. You don't give me the ball. Just save me for next year, man.
You're not enthused about having Neighbors and starting him this week. And if you're in a do or die situation or you're trying to make a title run, he's a dynasty hold, but in a redraft, I mean, he could definitely be released.
Yeah, released?
Yeah, them shallow leagues, them 10-man leagues.
Yeah,
there's deep enough teams.
wouldn't-
All right, keep him on your fucking bench, but it's the same as dropping him, except you just don't have to look at him. He ain't doing you shit. Someone else going to pick him up. They might drop someone better. Neighbors
see.
is not going over 4 catches or 80 yards anytime soon.
Oof. I
Definitely
hope,
won't find
you're
the end
wrong.
zone.
I kind of need him to be good.
Definitely won't find the end
Well,
zone.
nobody finds Tyrone Tracy finds the end
Yeah.
zone for the Giants, but that's
But
it.
Shaboy Neighbors,
Uh-uh.
I put the Dan Doom, definitely dirty, dastardly.
How he's got
Taps
Drew
on him.
Lock thrown on the ball.
It's
He's got
stamped.
Drew Lock.
That's an upgrade from anything he's had.
He does know a lot of cool rap songs and sing them on the sideline. So,
Drew Lock
Pretty
did
hype.
run a touchdown in last week.
hey,
He did.
sounds a lot to do with Neighbors. So, start them up, losers. Chances are, if you have Neighbors, you ain't even a playoff contender. So,
What about Marquez Valdez Scantling?
what about him? Christ. Every time, you go start him and he won't do what he's been damn doing. It's ridiculous.
What did they do last week?
I tried.
11.6 fantasy
Okay.
points.
I
He's-
seriously
all he
didn't know
does
what
is
he
catch
did.
touchdowns.
2 for 36 and a touchdown.
All he does is catch touchdowns.
Okay.
Yep.
Tutty.
Game before 2 for 87 and a touchdown. Game before 3 for 109 and 2
threw
touchdowns.
2 tutties. Yeah, just
Well,
trash.
he'll catch those deep ones, or he normally doesn't catch them. But he's catching them right now.
Or normally-
Like they
He-
throw them,
he
he just
either
doesn't
catches
catch. He
them.
just doesn't catch them.
some
Like he drops them. That's what I
Hard
meant.
hitting analytics there.
Either he scores touchdowns or he doesn't.
He either
I mean,
catches balls or then he also could not catch balls. He's not seeing a lot of targets, though. 3 targets, 4 targets, 3 targets. But for whatever reason, one of those targets keeps going for a touchdown.
It's trash.
What is that? 50% of the time works every time.
It's 60. but
Valdez Scantling or Malik Neighbors this week?
Valdez Scantling. Kidding me?
Yes.
At least he's scoring
I'm not
tutties.
kidding you. I'm asking you
No, I'm
a
ki-
legitimate question.
I'm asking you. Are you kidding me? It's MVS without even you forget about it, huh?
All right. I'll
Fugazi.
note it. I'll set my lineup accordingly.
Yeah, get him the fuck out of there for your friend.
We've spent too much time on New Orleans. in
Yeah,
the chat.
tell your friend.
We don't have much to pick from this week. Carolina at Philadelphia. Devonta Smith is back. Dallas Goedert out for a few weeks.
Play your Eagles, your standard Eagles. There's no fringe. You know who they are.
Right.
And Carolina is pretty much boiled down to what? Chuba Hubbard?
And people get excited
And
about Adam
Thielen.
Thielen.
Go ahead if you got a feeling about
Got a
it.
feeling about Thielen.
This week?
And watch out, as you saw last week, where Jonathan Brooks was eating into, like, Chuba wasn't at his
wasn't
worst
dominant.
game because of Jonathan Brooks getting in there.
All right, I got a pal. He's in a scenario where he's like, oh, fuck, what do I do? Here's the scenario. He's got Chuba, he's got Tony Pollard, and he's got Njoku. He has to sit one of those pricks.
I'm
His
probably
wording.
sitting Chuba.
Probably sitting Chuba.
And I'll tell you why. Last week against Tampa Bay, he did get 12 carries, only got 43 yards. Ended up with 3.3 fantasy points somehow. So,
Oh, you didn't hear about Chuba? Got a fucking
you didn't
shotgun
hear-
pulled on him.
he lost a fumble like a jerk.
Yeah, that usually
Lost
gets you
a
in the
point.
dag house quick.
This week they're at Philadelphia, who is the second best team in the league against
It's not a
opposing
good- it's
running
not a good
backs.
matchup.
It's
And-
a terrible matchup.
And
for
I hate
Chuba.
starting two tight ends because I have Brock Bowers. I mean, my buddy's got Brock Bowers or
he
whatever.
does.
But Njoku
Stupid
had a
Brock
meager 17 targets last week.
Dude, Njoku has to be in.
17 fucking targets for two tutties. I mean, who gets 17 balls thrown at him that doesn't work at a male strip club?
We talked about Njoku when Jameis Winston took over as being a guy you want to start going forward.
Yes.
Because Jameis throws the ball like crazy.
Dude.
We'll get to that in a little
He's
bit.
awesome.
Actually, that game's coming up next. But
Is he the most entertaining player in the NFL? Not successful or the best, just the
most entertaining?
Yes.
Jameis?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Ah, yeah.
It's
Because he's
not
either
close.
throwing a bomb to his team, a bomb to the other team, and then he's interviewing about it before and after, and you got to love it.
Yeah.
I love him.
It's not close. He's the most entertaining.
Love him.
I guess the question in this game, because Philadelphia, you start everybody, and
You
Devonta
got-
Smith is back. So
So he's
go
in
ahead.
that discussion. Yeah, those are elite. The Eagles players that you start, the Smith, the AJ, the Barkley, the Hurts, those are elite fantasy foundational pieces.
The real question here is Chuba Hubbard. And so if I'm looking at
Yes,
flex
it's-
rankings,
Because he's been killing it all year, but is the fizzle, like Krager's saying, is it done? Is Brooks eating into the work? Did the fumble do it? You know what I mean? Are they such a
I think it's
team?
Brooks. I mean, I think if they just want to get more of him in there.
Good
before,
thing they gave Chuba an
a
extension.
big extension, and then they're like, all right, let's
fuck?
start working. Which I get because they're not. They want to see what they got in Brooks. But why did you give him an extension? I don't know.
the
That's why
matchup
they
is
suck.
just so.
Why?
For me, it's the matchup.
It's also a horrible matchup, and you're not getting. Before that, I would have said Chuba. It didn't matter because he was putting up points
That's
on
what I-
anybody.
yeah.
But now
Right.
that it's like a 50-50 split or a 60-40, and a bad matchup.
I'm confident he'll get double-digit touches at least.
Do you think basically that it's the fight now? You say Njoku's in, but it's a fight between Pollard and Chuba.
Yeah, and I'm leaning Pollard at that.
He's
matchup.
been explosive.
They're at home
recently.
against Jacksonville. I like that matchup
31st,
a lot better.
31st run defense.
I like that matchup so much better. So much better. But yeah.
Thanks, dude. He
yeah,
said thanks, my friend.
Yeah. Good. Tell him, you let him know. That's what I said.
I'll tell him to stop being an idiot.
But Chuba, I think you have to look at in a flex spot. Like they have him ranked 55th.
Chuba?
Yeah, right behind Khalil Shakir,
Whoa.
Rashad White, Keenan Allen, Najee Harris, DeAndre
Oh,
Swift.
overall, I thought you meant in running backs. I'm like, I'm gonna kill someone.
And flex.
Oh,
Just
yeah,
as a flex play.
Okay, yeah.
I
no.
mean,
yeah, no.
I'll tell you what he's ranked at, just straight up a running back PPR. Scrolling.
Oh.
23rd.
So what does it say about Pollard?
Pollard
Respect.
is 11th.
There it is.
It's a great matchup, dude.
It's one of those things. I'm gonna start Njoku, and he's gonna get 4 points.
No, he's not.
Oh, dude,
This is
He won't get just 4.
well. We're gonna talk.
4.83. Fuck you.
Let's just get to that game because it's next anyway. He'll get 4.
Just
yeah.
a regular 4.
Yeah,
Hey, Joe!
nobody just gets 4, dude.
He won't get just 4. I mean,
What
I'll bet
a
against that.
dick.
We use decimals.
I hate you.
So Cleveland goes on the road to take on Pittsburgh, and what is a super intriguing game. Even though Cleveland's got 3 wins on the
Just
season.
throw out the records. It's the AFC North.
Jameis is just happy to be here.
Yeah.
Don't look too much into his personal life. Just enjoy what he does on the field. Last week, 497 yards, 4 touchdowns, and in classic Jameis Winston fashion,
2 picks.
3 interceptions.
3 interceptions, 2 pick sixes.
2 pick sixes. 6 touchdowns.
I love it. I love
He
it.
had like 50 fantasy points,
On my bench. Damn it.
and he's taking on Russ. Old Dangerous, who went last week for 414 yards and 3 touchdowns and 1 interception. Both these guys.
I think Russ is going to be starting for Pittsburgh next year.
Yeah.
The way he's playing, I see them signing him to like a 2-year extension or something. And
Yeah, well, wait till he wins the Super Bowl this year in Pittsburgh and then see what they do.
Jeez Louise, I won't be happy as a Bengals.
I don't think that's going to happen.
Pittsburgh's one of the teams I pray for, like, physical harm.
Yeah, just
Understandable.
pray for their downfall.
Uh-huh. Like, I'd be involved in a, like, scuffle with them at a local tavern or something. You know?
But they just
Losing,
win
obviously.
games.
Yeah, they just lose.
But you have to, in this game for Cleveland, I like Jameis a lot. He's going to throw that defense is good.
Well, then now you have to respect Judge Judy and get him in your lineup.
Yeah. You have to start Judy.
Yeah, you have to.
And Njoku. And Nick Chubb's been fine.
No. I mean, I guess some points set up there,
Touchdown
but
dependent.
yeah,
he's a low-end RB2, but he's still got upside.
He is
Potentially.
so much touchdown dependent.
Touchdown
He's not getting yards running. He doesn't really catch passes.
Can I make a dynasty note on Nick Chubb already being linked to teams like Kansas City and blah blah blah? So in dynasty, you're a hold or go buy low, but I still think there's gas in the tank in a dynasty league. But EC might be more in the correct lane with this game and the rest of the year with Chubb.
Well,
that's
he's
just
28 years old.
Still, there's
Yeah.
Mixon's having a career year at 28.
Next year, he could look better.
That's what I'm saying. In a better offense.
But right now,
they're too throw happy. They're behind all the time.
and he just isn't there yet. No. Their offensive line isn't there right now.
I could see him in Kansas City rip it. He's going to have a renaissance year next year.
I sure hope so. I got him in a league.
Just like Bateman and Nick Westbrook and Kine, I've got the feeling.
The way that Cleveland throws the ball, they're almost guaranteed in every matchup to find their way down to the goal line at some point.
Mm-hmm. And he's going to...
He hope that he can run it in.
Yeah,
yes.
He's the guy once they get down there.
But that's what you're hoping for. He's not going to get a 40, 50-yard rush or anything like that.
But this week...
You're hoping he falls in the end zone.
6 teams on bye. Right? Get your 12 points from Nick Chubb with his 40 yards and a touchdown.
Your 5 or your 14 is kind of where you're about to get with him.
And then for Pittsburgh, it's how's Najee been doing for you lately?
Actually,
awesome on my bench last week.
I benched him last week in both leagues I have him. And
you're our Najee expert on this show.
He was great. He had his best game of the year.
I'm the George Pickens expert. If you got extra points for penalties for taunting, congratulations.
Pickens is wild,
dude. He's nuts.
So much talent, and wow. You're like, it's another Pittsburgh receiver that just has... They can find the talent, but they're just dysfunctional.
I'm the resident Brock Bowers whisperer.
Yeah.
All I did in 2 leagues is take my first-round pick and draft that motherfucker.
We'll get to the Raiders game.
I don't want to talk about the Brock Bowers. Should be on my team.
Eat a bag of Brock Bowers shit.
Mm-hmm. As luck would have it, that's next. So I told you guys.
Segue.
Yeah.
Just
Raiders
like
at Tampa Bay. I told you guys I'm in 6 leagues. Last week in 3 of those leagues, I went up against Brock Bowers.
You got what you deserve.
They played Friday.
Then you got a 30-piece McNugget right on your dome.
Just right. And so in half my leagues, I'm down big before Sunday even starts.
Sucks.
And it's all Brock Bowers. Just
man shit at 21.
Brock Bowers is doing what we hoped that Kyle Pitts would have done.
Yeah.
It turned into what he was supposed to be is what Bowers is doing now. Bowers is doing more in the pros than he did in college.
Dude,
he's
awesome.
Ridiculous.
Ridiculous.
He's awesome.
He's so good. And that team is garbage.
Dynasty Dan is already proclaiming him the number 1 asset going into next year. Number 1.
The other good news is, also in this same game, I went up against Bucky Irving in like 3 leagues too.
Bucky!
And I'm on TV hearing them say, Bucky Irving with a career day. That's what you never want to hear.
When you're going against someone, no.
Is the announcers talking about the guy you're playing against having a career day.
Looking good.
Yep.
It's the worst.
Yep. So he seems to be pretty good. I mean, in this game, Mike Evans back. Kate Otten has fell off.
Yeah, you're still riding Evans.
Once Evans came back, Otten fell off.
Yep.
That was predictable.
And then Bucky. Been the Buck show.
Saw a great Bucky thing on the internet. It was a meme, and the dad said, talking to his kid. The kid says, "Dad, why is my sister named Rose?" "Well, your mom loves roses." "Oh, thanks, Dad. Anytime, 2024 Bucky Irving." This is fucking kid's name. Just 2024 Bucky. Not Bucky Irving, but 2024 Bucky Irving. That's how much he's changing lives in fantasy leagues, man. And don't you guys hate, especially in dynasty leagues, when a guy like that breaks out and you're like, oh, he was touchable draft-wise.
Yes.
Like, everyone could have touched him.
Yep.
It's the worst feeling.
And you're like, well, I mean, they got Rashad White, so
Adrian, fucking hate it.
I mean, he did get you 3.7 yards per carry all season.
From now
When you
on,
look back at it, you're like,
hindsight's a bitch.
Rashad White caught a lot of passes. That's where all of it came from, not from running. But he's looked better this year with Bucky Irving in there.
It's a better football situation, not a better fantasy situation for White. Like,
yes.
efficiency's up, but
Bucky
volumes down.
But then if you listen to every fantasy quote unquote expert out there, Bucky was slow.
Ooh, shots fired. You guys suck.
You didn't want. But am I right though? Because we
That's all I talked about. That's why I didn't want to get.
He was not that great. He's not
His
going to do anything.
combine was
There-
embarrassing.
All this stuff negative about him, and his combine terrible. You've been in shorts, so whenever he puts on pads, he looks really good. And he actually plays football. He's really good.
I really want to start a fantasy league where these guys just go into track and field. Like they do the combine, then
That's
they
it.
actually go do these events for a living. Like, all right, now that makes sense. Like, dude, I'm drafting that guy on long jump because he's the best at it. But
Why don't they do them with pads on?
because they're stupid. Like I've talked about, owners and shit are dumb.
Like
dude.
like pads on, helmets on. Like go out there. Like let's see what you do with the
Game
football uniform
film
on.
is
not
paramount.
not shorts stretching out. Because there's guys.
I can't believe that factors in so much to drop their draft status. Shorts and t-shirt shit.
Yeah, it
so
does.
much.
But you have to be able to see their muscles, their rippling physique, and you got to have
Draft him and then you get to see
Chris
in the locker
Jones'
room.
dong falling out of his shorts when he's running.
Damn, I wish I was fast and had that problem. Two problems? Like, dude, I'm fast and it falls out of my shorts, my tight shorts.
What that must be like
Jeez
to be able to have your
Louise.
dong just fall out of something.
I gotta be like, no, over here, right there. You can see it right.
Hold on. Move this aside.
Dude,
There it is.
Flopping
There it
out of
is.
like some like Michigan 90s shorts, like down to your knees, still flopping out.
Dude.
Sorry guys, let me put that away.
Oh, I hope no one saw that. Like, I'm like, hope everyone saw it. Fell out of my pants.
he wasn't worried about it.
I got Daisy Dukes, no problem, Ace.
That raises draft stock, I'm sure. Well, this guy looked pretty good, but that guy's dong fell out.
Should we take Chris Dong? I mean, Long.
All right, Jacksonville, Tennessee.
All right.
Whose Dong we taking here?
Well,
Dong.
Trevor Lawrence took a pretty good shot to the dome.
I didn't know how hard it was until like the next day they put him on IR.
Yeah.
Boy, that's ominous.
But as soon as it happened, I knew he was going to be done because of that, and he had a shoulder injury, and they suck this year. So
yeah, it was just kind of alarming though how quick they.
It was a pretty icky
Yes.
hit. It was pretty gross. That dude, whoever hit him is suspended for a couple games.
3
right?
games.
3 games.
and it got
suspension.
upheld after they appealed it.
Yep, that makes sense.
video footage. It's hard to dispute.
Travis Etienne,
Just 1 year wonder. That's what that was.
like,
Maybe comes back next year, but I don't want a piece of that shit. That piece of shit.
so he got hurt in week 6.
Suck balls all year.
He missed the next 2 games, and then he went 5 points, 5.3, 6.3, and 8.8. The most points he scored in a game all season was 14.8 back in week 2. He is terrible.
And that's when I traded him.
That offense has been so bad there.
Yeah. They look better with Mac
Putrid.
Jones last week.
I traded Travis Etienne and Justin Herbert in a dynasty league for 3 first-round picks and Terry McLaurin.
Good for you.
Changed my whole life.
Yeah.
Changed my whole fucking life.
Good for you, buddy.
Yeah, dude. Sit down, Travis, is what I said. And then guess what I said to Terry? Dude, unreal, bro. What are you doing? Go Buckeyes.
But I like, with Mac Jones in there, I like Brian Thomas a lot more.
Get it. I'm starting him this week. Get it, BT.
I liked in the beginning. I really liked Brian Thomas. He was like
too.
He was a number 9 wide receiver for
Same league. I got
for a
Brock
while.
Bowers. I got Brian Thomas, too.
There you go.
Check out my dong.
And then you'll have to
Flopping out fantasy wise.
You'll have to look like up my shorts to see it, but it's in there.
It's flopping.
Yeah.
I didn't say where. Just flopping.
It doesn't flop. No. It rests.
It rests on a mountain nut. Rests.
And then your guy, Nick Westbrook-Akine.
I pee on my balls. So does Christian McCaffrey, dude. Fuck that, dude. Sorry.
Stop it. We'll get into
Think
it.
of someone with some pee balls.
Westbrook-Akine has been. I'm trying to
NWI bitches. I've been calling it.
Hey, dude, he's been super consistent.
That's my man's in them.
He has 30 catches, I think, this year for 8 touchdowns.
Don't put the first part in there. He's had a lot of catches.
But that's it. I mean, 30 catches, I think, this year, or maybe even less than that.
Yeah, he's a fluke. I'll admit it, but I just was feeling something on him.
But for 8, I mean,
he's serviceable at flex.
He's got a
He's gonna
touchdown
get a tutty.
in 7 out of the last 8 games. He had 2 before that.
Will Levis is just crazy enough to keep feeding the motherfucker.
Like, if he's getting chances, whenever he gets a chance to play, he scores touchdowns. He does well.
Dude, if he's so good, why aren't you guys featuring him more?
He's double digits 5 of the last 6 games.
All touchdown dependent. He's a touchdown dependent guy. He's not a PPR
touchdowns
wizard.
in all of those double digit games. He's touchdown.
Yeah, he's dependent, but that's fine. It's points.
He
Points
did
are points.
see a season high 8 targets last week, which is good.
Yep.
I did have him in the lineup, and then I made a trade, but I may be starting. It doesn't matter if I win or lose, but he may be in my starting lineup this week.
I mean, with all the buys, why not, man?
Why not?
Would you rather have him or his teammate, Calvin Ridley?
I'd feel better about Ridley, but you
Would
got to
you?
sometimes strip the names away. Yeah, because it feels right. You're like, I'm starting a
Yes,
stud.
the number 1 and got all the money. And
Yeah, and he's Calvin Ridley, and
Yes.
most people can't even finish Nick's name. You know what I mean? So
Yeah, a lot
You
of
also-
Nick
people
Westbrook,
struggle with
you
You also don't like Calvin
that.
Ridley.
Hate Calvin Ridley.
and rightfully so.
Because of
swung
fantasy
and miss. He swung and miss on that one.
Well, he was good, and then
Where were you on that?
he
one?
wasn't.
All right. Seattle at Arizona. Anything?
A division rivalry.
Right.
There's a lot of good fantasy pieces, a lot of underrated fantasy pieces. JSN, bitches, top 10 wideout.
Yep.
What it do?
Marvin Harrison.
What it don't.
Talk about touchdown dependent.
Trade him to me.
Talk about
Now I'm gonna hold on to
classic
him.
Not that
down
good.
rookie year, and sophomore he's going to just pop.
Dude, yeah, he's totally
Doesn't
fine.
help you this year. Sucks.
In a dynasty league, if you are able to finagle him away from a
Talk someone
disappointed
down.
owner,
You could do it.
then
It's
now's
doable.
try to do it. Do it in
would
the
too.
off season, whatever you can do. But yeah, man, he's going to be special.
He's going to be special.
It's not him. It's him just not getting the way the offense is
As good
going.
as Kyler Murray's been, it's tough to believe it hasn't been through him, but McBride's an absolute fucking generational talent.
just
at
not
tight end.
Zata McBride.
Yeah,
There it is.
yeah. Seattle.
Seattle, you got don't start Lockett. I hope you're not even in that situation. But you
Nope.
got JSN, you got your boy Metcalf, and what else is there to discuss? I mean, Gino's a fringe starter.
Kenny Walker.
Oh, Kenny. I like Kenny.
Big Ken.
And he's questionable, so
Big
keep an eye
Kenny.
on that. But as long as if he's playing, you're putting him in your lineup. You don't know what you're going to get. You can get 5 points or you get 25.
I'm guessing. Okay, yep, I was right. Metcalf also questionable.
Come on, JSN.
Limited participant at practice yesterday.
Oh, God, I hate how I have to fucking win to get in, and it starts tonight. Christ on a bike. It's
Always a
first
Q by it's QDK Metcalf. That's
Yes.
his name.
Quiche.
just DQ.
Buffalo at the Los Angeles Rams. I hate the stupid Buffalo Bills. This is what happened to me last week.
Yeah, I see where this is going.
I told you about this before we started recording, Dan. So I'm in a league, and I am set to be High Point, which pays out. High Point.
Weekly talking.
Yeah. And I've got James Cook in the game who scores early. I hate it because he's playing my beloved 49ers, but at the same time, I'm like,
Looking good.
just gave me the lead. And if they just,
Ended the game right now. I got it.
Keep feeding him, though. He's feeling it.
Yeah, just he's running great. Every time he touches the ball, he's going for like 19 yards. Just keep feeding him the ball. Well, the Bills are beating the absolute shit out of my favorite football team so bad that the rare thing happens in the NFL where a team pulls their starters for like the entire fourth quarter. No James Cook. No nothing.
No defenses around your tower, dude.
Just right. And so they pull my running back from my fantasy team because they're beating my real team so badly, and then he doesn't get me the points I need, that I lose in that league, and I don't get high point. I lose with second highest points for the second time in that league.
Thanks for showing up. You get jacked.
I hate fantasy football.
I had James Cook.
It's a deep
in league.
hatred.
I lost by 0.3 points.
Okay, so
Oh,
I get against the number one team in the league.
you kind of feel my pain a little bit.
0.3. I was like,
nothing makes you count the points
I shouldn't
more.
have won, but it was the only way I had a chance to be able to make the playoffs if I wanted. Then all of a sudden, it's like 18.8 points in the first quarter.
Yeah.
Like, not even that. I mean, I was like, oh, I need 2 more points and I win.
Got it.
Never got it.
Shouldn't be a problem.
Gets 1.2 more points, and I'm like 0.3. And it's going into the fourth quarter, and
You had to just sit and watch that 0.3 the rest of the quarter.
that's it. It's like 0.3. 0.3.
So now
Let him
imagine
in the game one play.
that very game you're watching is against your real life favorite team, where the best player on your favorite team goes down with a non-contact knee injury to start the game.
Yeah.
It was just so much. That's
That's the worst when personal team gets involved with fantasy.
So much. That
'Cause
game.
This do or die game I'm in the Dank League, it comes down to Monday night, and I have my Bengals stars on Monday night. So it comes down to Jamar Chase and T. Higgins, whether I go to the playoffs or not. That's what it's going to come down to.
All right. Well, from a fantasy standpoint,
Josh Allen threw a pass and then got the receiving touchdown.
Horseshit.
And then rushed one in. The first player ever to throw a pass,
How come
catch a pass,
my boy Amari Cooper on my bench didn't get a touchdown pass?
Because it was a lateral.
it was a lateral.
I don't like all that's fishy.
That is fishy.
But that's the technical way they said. They're like, Josh Allen threw it, and then it ended up being lateral back to him.
Someday
and
when
he
I'm an
ran it in.
older piece of shit than I am now, I'm going to sit around and research
Wow.
why that's a thing.
what that'll be like.
Man,
Yeah,
it's
no, it
older.
doesn't make any
Hey
sense to me.
guys, I was sitting around thinking about this.
But it didn't matter. I was watching that game just engulfed in rage.
God, I'm so sad for you. And some part of me is like, yeah. the
Yeah,
Niners.
because that's what you do for your friends. You root against them, and that's true.
Yeah, I'll get
friendship.
2 texts on my birthday if the Bengals lose. I have 157 missed messages. You know what I mean? Like,
Yeah,
what
right.
the
That's
fuck?
how it goes.
God bless it.
But I think all the regulars here in this game get put into your lineup.
Yeah,
there's a lot of offensive firepower.
You're still dragging the carcass of early season Khalil Shakir out there.
Yeah.
I still think there's brighter days ahead. Is Dalton Kincaid back?
He practiced today.
Okay. Boy, what
Does
a
it
letdown
matter?
he's been. Yeah, it's just been a letdown year for him. I think dynasty-wise, he's a hold. And Josh Allen's just a fucking league winner, man.
Yeah. Yep. Yeah. Start
Josh Allen is
but
right now MVP.
Yeah. It's close, but I don't see why not. He's doing more with less than anyone else.
I mean, they had such bad cap space that they got rid of so many people and were just grabbing.
it's supposed to be a down year, why they got the cap under.
Yes,
Yeah.
yes.
So-
Get moved Stephon Diggs, took a big cap hit on him, but just moved so many pieces.
Just love how he plays the game.
Would not be surprised if they win the whole thing this year.
They could win it when they're supposed to be
Yeah.
down, and they got rid of so many players and a solid team. Great job coaching.
They went 4 years to a Super Bowl and didn't win. So.
It'll be Mahomes. Chicago at San Francisco. Eric, I guess we have to talk about this.
It looks like you two idiots are playing against each other.
yeah.
mean,
Two
God.
castle mashers.
I don't know. We just fired our head coach.
Good.
Oh, so you're going to be all spirited.
So we might win a game.
You want ours?
Or we maybe. I don't know.
Stop it.
I'd
I'd get rid of Zach Taylor for Kyle Shanahan in a heartbeat.
Yes.
I'm sorry, Kyle. I didn't mean that.
Yeah,
I'm
so
lashing out. I'm lashing
I'll
out.
take injuries. You
Injuries, dude. You guys
have just
don't
been
suck.
so
You're just
many
hurt.
injuries. So many injuries.
We've sucked. There's a difference.
Thanks, guys. You're good friends.
And-
you make me feel better.
And I really think that they, which doesn't matter now, but they should have traded Brandon Ayuk and saved some of that money and
Yep. Yeah.
got some draft picks there.
I traded him.
Yeah.
I bought him like a dick. But I also sold him in another league for a first-round pick and Chase Brown. So
That's the move.
That was huge.
So suck that right back.
And then he got injured, and you're like, oh.
It wasn't me.
So at first I was sucking it, but then now someone else is sucking it. You know what I mean? Sucking it. Everyone.
Here, mouth this a little bit.
Everyone.
Don't do the sound, dude. One guy, and I'm sure he got picked up in like every league. If for some reason your league was snoozing, go see if Isaac Guerindo's out there. Rookie running back for the Niners.
All of a sudden, the fourth-string running back at the beginning of the year could be.
This is the time of year for handcuffs.
Yes, but I mean it's the fourth-string. The number 1 and number 3 guy got injured. You know, from the beginning of the year, the 2 guy was already out, and crazy. Like the fourth-stringer could be a league winner.
I will tell you what, from watching almost every Niner snap this season,
I bet that's been traumatic.
it's been tough. When that kid's in there, he is fast.
4.3 speed.
Yeah, he is like crazy.
He's kind of a
fast.
house too. He's not like a little guy. He's kind of a house.
Like, and it's kind of like so. Why? I mean, what is it going on that we haven't used him more?
Seniority,
right?
You know how that works in an NFL locker room.
He had like 14 for 85 whenever he got those touches, and he looked electric. And you're like, okay, you can't keep this guy off the field. And then they're like,
watch me, bitch.
Yeah, we can.
Here you go, Jordan.
It really boils down to, and I never really consider this, it's pass protection. Some of them younger guys, they're like, hey, man, you're a dynamic runner, but we need you to be able to pass block so we can fool defenses. Because if they know that you are in the game and we only hand it off to you, then you're useless.
Yeah.
Yes.
So.
Yeah. That's a big part of it, but now he's going to have to figure it out because he's all they got.
Big boy pants. Mm-hmm. So he's putting on.
And I mean, for the Chicago, Swift's been bad, but you probably got to get him in with all the buys this week.
He also
the Niners
he hasn't
terrible
practiced
against the run.
He hasn't practiced for 2 days.
Really?
Roshan Johnson hasn't practiced for 2 days and left the game.
How's Keenan Allen doing? Because I play against that prick.
Keenan Allen practiced in full today. DJ Moore did not practice today at all. So you got to watch some of that stuff right now.
Yeah, keep an eye on that stuff and see. But
put that out there.
The Niners defense has not been good, and as far as I know, Bosa's still hurt. So
yeah, you're not scared of them. They're not playing.
Caleb Williams had a nice game last week. Boy, Keenan Allen has come alive.
Keenan Allen, man.
Don't need that. Don't
These
need
last
that.
2 games.
I wouldn't traded for him.
I
traded for him yesterday.
A couple fucking pennies and got
He's been trash all season in these last 2 games.
I'd like to know what
he had one good game.
was thinking, dude.
But he also and that hasn't been Keenan's fault. Like he still looks like Keenan Allen. Like he can still make the moves.
I'm dragging a second-round pick at least out of your punk ass for that bullshit. I couldn't believe it. What a heist. What'd you do? Did you diddle him or what'd you do?
Yeah, that's what I did.
I always wondered if there's some backdoor deals going on.
We can do a little diddling over here.
Meet in like a Hardee's parking lot and just hammer out a Handski to get that deal done.
Sometimes that's what you got to do to make
get it done,
man. Did you show him where it was resting?
Yeah.
Right on the nuts.
Like this is just barely sitting on the balls.
Peanuts. Just like a fountain display. Right. You know, in Greek times, a small penis was a sign of sophistication. That's why all the statues had small cranks.
Yeah.
The big dick was demons, you know, like, get them out of here, that big hog.
They had everybody fooled back then.
Yeah.
No, this is good.
No, this is good. This is good.
It's a good thing.
You see how I'm peeing on it?
We're really,
that's normal. Make a statue.
So much better this way.
So the balls are bigger? Yeah. Oh, way bigger. All right. Sorry, so throw that history in there.
Love a good history lesson.
Big old nuts. All right.
All right. The Chargers go on the road to take on the Chiefs.
Go Chargers. Go.
How will the Chiefs figure out a way to win this one?
We're looking at an 11-7 score final. The Chiefs don't have 11 till 11 seconds, but they're going to get it.
Jesus. I hate the Chiefs so bad.
I saw a ref getting carted off on a cart, and it said, tough news for the Chiefs. Their number one player has been injured.
I mean, the way they've been going, I don't. You know, we kind of look and say that they probably will end up winning the title, but they have not looked like the dominant team that their record is showing.
They didn't last year
either. No, which is true. Mm-hmm. But they didn't have the record. But I'm like,
the T-Swift magic's worn off. They're fucked. They're a team that wins by the skin of their chinny chin, and that shit's gonna run out. They're not. Buffalo's, just gang banging and winning.
Yeah, they're really good.
Yeah, they're winning. They're convincingly, when you see an ass whooping and when you see kind of a tie.
The Chargers defense is like legitimately tough.
They're tough.
So
Chargers are good.
From a fantasy standpoint, this game, I don't know who I like because both these defenses are really good.
Yeah.
I'm
And
not
Harbaugh
crazy
likes
about
to
anybody.
slow the game down on offense.
Yeah.
Dink and dunk, keep control. Defense is stingy, like you said. It's not a favorable offensive matchup, I feel.
Yeah, I'm not happy about really anybody in this.
Lad McConkey.
Lad McConkey.
And he might not play.
Yes, health-wise. And then Kelsey, just because it's a tight end and it's Kelsey. But running back, you don't know who's going to do what.
Yeah. Kansas City, I mean, if you're starting Pat Mahomes, I'm sure you're a fucking asshole.
Travis Kelce has 2 touchdowns all season.
Yeah,
Yes.
it's bad. Well, Pat Mahomes has 7, doesn't he?
Noah Gray has 4 touchdowns in the last 3 games.
You hate
Kelsey
to
just
see
catches
that.
passes.
You hate
Barely.
to see that.
Yeah,
Just passes. That's it. Not touchdowns, just
Yeah.
passes.
Yep. Yeah, you hate to see it.
You know what I mean? You hate to see it.
Isaiah Pacheco came back last week, didn't get too involved. I mean, I assume he's going to get more involved this week. But that pretty much, I'm still not happy about starting him. But it also takes away Kareem Hunt from,
The darlings
yeah,
list.
right.
It does.
So it's one of those twofers.
I like to thank one of my buddies who's got an absolute shithouse team,
Okay.
and he seems to get those players like the Jordan Masons and the Kareem Hunts, and I'm always like, hey, you don't fucking need them because you're 1-12 and you suck ass.
Yeah.
Here's some good draft picks for them. Doesn't ever do it. Then they get hurt or they're useless. So I just want to give him a shout out without saying his name. Dude, keep eating shit. Trying to help you out, bro. Keep eating bags of it.
Shout out to the buddy.
Who's going to eat the shit?
Monday night game.
Love it. I'm watching it. It's my team, and it's a Simpsons broadcast.
They might. Yeah, I do want to
I'm
see
watching
that.
it.
Yeah.
2 teams that have nothing going for them.
I think they're going to win.
Who, the Bungles?
Yeah.
Well, let's go. Let's
They're
fucking
at Dallas.
go.
Dallas is bad.
Sucks at home.
I mean, Cincinnati can score points.
Yeah, our defense is a fucking sieve, but they don't have I need Cooper Rush to absolutely suck. He's another guy who's determining my fucking future.
That your future should never be determined by Cooper Rush.
And I'm about to be housed by Cooper Rush and Mac Jones in a goddamn street fight in a Superflex.
Hold on, dude.
Can you believe that? Toe to toe with Mac Jones and Cooper Rush, and I'm about to get my ding dong clipped. Just right off if they can find it over the Sacagawea.
Yeah.
Peeing on it.
Last week against the Giants, Cooper Rush goes 21 of 36
How many
for
points?
195 yards and 1 touchdown, 15.75 fantasy.
That's not
points.
gonna eliminate me.
No,
not
it's
when I have
not,
2
dude.
and Jordan Love. But
the only
this
thing,
week he's gonna just get buckets. 29 points for Cooper Rush this week. Mark it the fuck down.
the Bengals are so
Write it down,
bad
CC.
defensively. So
so bad,
defensively.
sieves. But we do have a couple players, and they're not that good on offense. The Cowboys, we could hold them under 20.
This
I
could
don't
be a
think so.
shootout on Monday Night Football.
Simpsons shootout. My whole life's dependent on it. I need T. Higgins and Jamar Chase to absolutely unleash.
Go ahead.
Will the Bengals pay both of them next year?
No, hell no. We're
They
cheap.
can't.
We're barely going to pay Chase if
Right.
we do. Higgins is long gone, number 1 somewhere else, getting overpaid.
There's a better shot that they pay neither.
Yeah, that's fucked up.
And be like, well,
holy
we
shit.
can reproduce these guys. We
No,
drafted them before. We can draft some
No,
other guys.
we cannot. Not
Get
in
on
the
out
Joe
there.
Burrow.
They
That-
want too much more money.
That
What?
Aya good guy, that guy,
Yes,
get him out
yes.
there. He'll be our number
Yosivas,
1.
shut up.
Yosivas.
So listen up, motherfuckers.
They released Trenton Irwin.
They did?
Yes.
Dang it, he was cool.
He was the next guy up, I thought.
Cool fella. Long dangles. Just kind
He's
of like,
gone.
Yeah.
Anyhow, I get your players in. I like him. I like Chase Brown. I like Rico Dowdle. I like both the running
I
backs.
love Chase Brown, dude. Love him.
It's because he's
Same.
a Bengal. You're like, oh, yeah.
Fuck off if you want, but I mean,
He's good.
He's from Illinois.
He's an Illinois
that-
guy.
see, you guys should be backing me
So
up.
you should trade him to me. 'cause
I
he's
said
from
I
Illinois.
like
will. I'll trade anyone, anytime, anywhere.
That's true.
For the
he
right
will.
price.
Yeah.
Yes.
I know certain players like, oh no, that's my guy. Nope. I have zero loyalty. I will take Joe fucking Burrow and trade his ass. And he's my favorite ass player.
I mean,
You
I'm
got
with
the,
you, dude.
You know what I mean?
I've
If you
done
got
it.
the, if
I traded you Forte before. That was my favorite player, my favorite team. I'm like,
Forte.
I was like, I'll trade him.
you gaffed me on that one.
I wonder how many people at any point in their life have been able to say that Matt Forte was their favorite player?
At the time.
A bunch of shitty kids from this area, for
Yeah.
sure, dude. Easily.
Yeah.
You kidding me? All these shit dick Bears fans? Definitely. That's
The
easy.
people who were Bears fans
I
playing
even
fantasy
liked him a
football
little
and had
I
him
mean,
on your
you like him
team.
for fantasy, but
No.
Well, that at the time he was my
Loved him.
favorite player because of fantasy.
because of fantasy.
My team,
Favorite player.
like if you had McCaffrey on your team and you're sitting there watching, you're
Yeah.
like, he's my favorite player right now.
Yeah, except
'cause
that's
he's-
McCaffrey.
Forte was putting
was
up some
pretty good.
numbers.
Forte was
dude.
not McCaffrey.
It
Look
wasn't
up some
McCaffrey,
numbers.
I
but
remember he was really good, but
Just
not
raw
even just
numbers.
really good. His last year with Tressman, he got over 100 passes. He had like double-digit touchdowns. He was a top 3 running back.
all right.
He wasn't the
Favorite
one
player,
like
Matt
McCaffrey,
Forte.
but
Yeah.
Pentago's calling you your favorite ice cream flavor, vanilla.
listen, I know he is,
I'm
dude.
just saying.
Well, you like plain
saying.
cheeseburgers? What?
Man,
Who's your favorite player right now?
he was my
in the
favorite.
league?
He was my favorite fantasy football player at
That's
the time.
fair.
Is
That's
basically
fair.
Do you
what he
take
was.
like your pile of French fries and just cover it in ketchup, Matt Forte fans? Is that
No,
okay.
dude, I dip. I dip my fries in ketchup.
All right, all right.
You probably put mayonnaise on your fries.
I do. I'm an Icky Woods fan. That's what we do, motherfucker. Come on.
The Icky Woods. I want to know before we wrap up, who is currently your guys' favorite just player in the league right now? Oh man, favorite guy.
Jamar Chase.
Yeah, yours is easy.
Yeah, it used to be Joe Burrow, but I like how swaggy and pissed off. Jamar takes shit personal,
Yep.
and I like that about him.
Joe Burrow's in my top 5.
Yeah,
I
he's number
love Joe
2.
Burrow.
I mean, I love Joe
Yeah.
Burrow.
Say I'm a big fan of Burrow.
Yeah.
He's my favorite player.
Favorite player right now in the league.
I don't know if I just have just a
Probably
favorite.
Kelsey because of Taylor Swift.
I was making fun of Matt Forte, but I can't say anything. Mine's my sweet baby boy, Brock Purdy. I love him so much.
That's a good one, dude.
you're like,
It's your quarterback.
See how bad they are when he's not on the field?
See how good he is still with no help?
Right,
I mean,
dude.
he's awesome.
He's good.
I like Brock.
Mine.
Sweet, sweet baby boy.
He's in the Chris League. I got him tenderizing over there.
I'm a big Saquon fan, and I'm a big Derrick Henry fan, and I have been a big Henry fan for a while.
Yeah, he's incredible.
That's your fantasy genius talking right there. That's not your real fandom.
He was just fun to watch.
Who's your favorite Chicago Bear?
Oh, yeah, that's a good one.
oh my
Favorite player from your favorite team.
favorite player?
Caleb,
for
did
my
he's already
Caleb.
favorite team? He's getting right on up there.
It should be him, dude.
He's getting right. We've got a lot of new pieces.
DJ Moore's
for their
cool to
DJ
like.
Moore. I mean, he's new. Keenan Allen, like a
Allen,
Charger
stud,
fan,
Hall
like
of
somebody
Fame.
from fantasy that you loved watching. Like he's a Bear now.
Yeah,
Like,
Hall of Famer.
he's a Bear.
Roshan.
So that not my favorite.
I used to like McPherson, our kicker, a lot
Just
because he
saying.
got us to the Super Bowl. He had 2 huge kicks, and I told my buddy that if he makes this kick, I'm buying a McPherson jersey, and I did it, and that might have been a little hasty.
You were the one. He's like, they show up there
way!
like, here's your residuals for jersey sales. He's like, somebody bought one?
Damn, Bob, what the fuck?
Some guy in Illinois just bought one?
I got it with the Super Bowl patch. Just did everything I could to jinx that Super Bowl.
It worked.
Yep.
Say it's not fantasy. Jalen Johnson. He's been there for a long time. He's really, really good.
All right.
And he kind of called out and yelled at Eberflus, and then Eberflus got fired.
Yeah, he needed it.
Oh, that was boring. Your pick right there.
That's right.
Good stuff, fellas. It was good to be back. Next week, fantasy playoffs.
What a great show.
We'll try to not skip it.
Some of us will be there. Some of us won't.
Yeah.
We'll
Tune
find out
in to
next
find
week
out who
who made it.
died.
See you guys.